Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Average, platform for us brothers, us men to get together and talk about things ranging from vulnerability, fatherhood, brotherhood to current topics. We can talk about sports, whatever it may be. I'm DJ.
David.
Snow.
Shiny P.
All right. Hey, it's a special one today, man. Special one. We got our first guest. Honored to have this guy on with us, man, doing a lot of things in the community for the kids. Just got recognized this past weekend by the baddest frat in the land, but we'll get to that later. This my guy, man. Dr. Sean Tory.
Brother, what's happening? Hey, I didn't know I was y'all first. Actually, I lied. I did know that. Y'all, because I ain't never seen nobody guess. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I ain't never.
You the first one, man. Like,
that's crazy. Okay, thank you.
And we have been going back and forth about when we wanted people to come on and stuff like that. And we are very, very picky. So for you to be the first, we was like, it was a no.
Hey, I took some L's, so I ain't gonna front.
You took some L's?
We were very picky.
Yeah, a couple people reached out. I'm like, oh man, I got a good story. And the whole time, the story was so fraudulent. Bro.
So fraudulent?
So fraudulent.
Yeah.
And me had an open heart. Oh man, I feel bad for him. Not really doing too much deep diving.
Yeah.
But then he asked me a question, like, what happened with this? I'm asking him, and dude sent me stuff. Was like, damn, bad we didn't do that. I would have been horrid, bro.
His privilege has been revoked.
Yeah, I'm over 2, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
If I could say, for one, I'm honored to be the first guest on your show. Thank you.
For sure.
But I think this is a surreal moment for me because I waited to say this. I never said it to you. Like, David's known me since I was when I was a young guy in high school. But I knew you guys because y'all played football. You was in the league.
Yeah.
Like, I remember y'all when I was young, and I used to hang out with Boo. I still hang out with Boo, of course.
Yeah.
But like I was watching y'all from afar. I wasn't as out there like I am now.
Right.
And I used to look up to y'all. So it's like
love,
y'all
appreciate
like Mook is big bro to me. So like
Shout out to
all
Mook.
y'all like Mook like so. Like, and Mook tell folks all the time, he's like, man, I put him on the M5s, which is facts. Like, he did.
Oh, yeah.
So Mook was he was like the one like, yo, him, he good. Like, so getting those stamps early meant a lot. But seeing y'all and like now to be respected on that level for y'all, that means a lot. So
Absolutely.
yeah, appreciate y'all.
But you know, and with everything that you're doing with like your mentorship program and just working with Cap and Know Your Rights and all that stuff, I shoot you a text in a minute and
That's
be
a
like,
fact.
bro, like keep doing it. You inspire me. It don't even matter. But you know, I've told you that. So,
Yeah.
Nah.
Appreciate that.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, the fans, the audience, like
Word.
like where you come from, you know, education, like what do you currently do? Just talk to us. Let the folks know about yourself.
I mean, I pray to God I ain't too long with it, but my name is Dr. Sean Tory.
Dr.
Sean
Sean Tory.
Tory.
You got to put the doctor
born and raised here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm from both the west side and north side of Las Vegas.
Yep.
Reason being, like literally, so there was a period where my mom and dad got divorced, and we ain't had nowhere else to go for a little bit. So we was homeless for a little bit, and then luckily my god grandmother, her name was Martin Wooten, God rest her, she raced us in. But first we went over to my uncle Put house. So Put lived in Valley View, and so luckily for Put, he looked out for us, and then we moved over with my grandma, so she lived on the west side. So I always was between the View and the west side, really. So 89106, and you know what I'm saying, the View means a lot to me, you know what I'm saying? And so then around that time it was dope because like Big Mario, Little Mario, like my mom was best.
I just talked to Mario the other day.
Yeah, man. Big Mario's mom is one of my mom's best friends.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up with the Davis family.
Yep.
And so that's kind of how I got around. But I was like the quiet kid in the corner. Like I was not confident at all.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where things started changing because Lil Mario was like, bro, you can't be going to these parties with me and you in the corner, man. You see what he on. Lil Mario, you know Lil Mario was him.
Yeah.
So once he became an M5, that's when things changed for me. Cause then I was like, all right, let me get on. So I started kicking it. My god sister Jaleese was in it, and I was like, all right, let me get around. So once I joined that youth group, all my confidence changed.
Yeah.
And the first trip out the country was to Grand Turks and Caicos because we were stepping. And once I got out the country and I was like, there's more to life than Vegas.
Yeah.
It's popping for real in real life. Oh yeah, I'm going to college. And we was on college tours, all that.
Yeah.
So that's fast forward childhood. Grew up a little homeless, but then we figured it out. Went to University of Nevada, Reno, got my bachelor's in human development and family studies and got my minor in business marketing. Yeah. And then came back home because I wasn't planning on coming home at first. But the reason why I came home is because, ended up getting pregnant end of junior year. So senior year was like, dang, like I was going to either go to Michigan or Cali. Yep. But I was like, all right, well, UNLV has a program that I want to get into, which is the marriage and family therapy program. So the week my daughter was born, she was born Monday, February 25th, 2013. That Thursday, I flew back home to interview for a master's program. Flew back to Reno that night. The next morning, got the acceptance email. So it was a dope week. I'll never forget that week. You know what I mean?
Blessings, yeah. Blessings on blessings, bro.
Lesson, bro. Graduated that May. Came home. Started my master's program August. Graduated that in 2015. And when I came back home in 2013, I got back with the Pfizer Divas as far as an advisor. So I came an advisor, and my mentorship started there, where I was teaching kids how to step. Because back then, I don't know if the league did this, but in Pfizer Divas, we had to come up with our own steps. So,
we
y'all did. That's why I figured y'all did the same.
We've won a step show before.
Y'all came up with it, but then I'm sure they polished up your show, right?
Hold on, we have the trophy.
I don't care.
We have the trophy.
We crushed y'all show.
You was gonna make it did, right? I remember that.
I
remember that show.
Singing the whole show.
Anybody who see this,
they were singing the whole
2005 step show, Unity Step Show, UNLV. Everybody know the
remember that.
Everybody know the won.
I ain't gonna hold you. I remember folks felt no make it just got snubbed. I remember that. I remember that.
You didn't. Y'all were singing. Boo. Yeah, it's very quiet. Singing. Knock it off. Knock it off. But keep on going.
That's funny. I came back, became an advisor, and I did that all the way from 2013 to 2019. But in the middle of that, after I finished my master's program, December 2015, Nick Matthews, my brother, your friend brother, one of my best friends, was like, hey, you work at Nevada Partners, you work with all the Spring Mountain kids and Caliente kids. I work with all the Gear Up kids. Let's do a conference. I was like, bet, what we gonna call it? Before it was called King of Jewels, it was called King of Spades.
It was.
It was called King of Spades. And reason being, it was like, yo, we from Vegas, we from the West, we from the North, we play spades. All right, we tired of cats thinking it's cool to be the Joker, let's teach them to be kings. That was the whole concept, and we still go with that concept. But we found out later that spades was derogatory towards black folks.
It is.
So I was like, we didn't know. We like, oh yeah, so let's change this. Let's change that name quick. Yeah, it is. And like my grandma was like, yeah, I was gonna tell you that, but we got your concept. Everyone understood the concept.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, let's change this quick because we want to be able to do it. So we changed the King of Jewels. And that was 2016. Now 2019, we went to a crossroads because then that's when that summer is when we first got our first, like, actually 2018 was, but 2019 is when really the pivot came where we're getting sponsorships for King of Jewels and things started happening. But then I had MDOT still. But MDOT and King of Jewels were two different things. And at this point, I've been around MDOT since I was 15 years old. And it was time to make a decision like, all right, I got to step away to kind of do my own thing at this point because I've been around it since I was a kid. And it was time for someone else to take the reins. So I stepped away from MDOT and just fully went through with King of Jewels with Nick. So Nick is still the president, I'm the vice president. And then at that point, it was like, yo, I didn't want to get a doctorate for therapy anymore. Like my direction changed because I didn't want to be a therapist. I cared about mentorship. Yeah. So when it came to like applying for doctorate programs, I wanted to be the expert in mentorship. And specifically, not just broad. I wanted to be broadly understood how mentorship came to be in Western ideology, but then also how has we all been successful coming through these youth groups? Because what we experience has not been documented on the academic level.
Facts.
And that's the part that sucks. So when it came down to that, I was like, all right, I knew what I'm getting my doctorate in. I want to be the expert in mentorship. So I applied in 2019 to get in my doctorate program, got accepted February of 2020, started August of 2020, and then just graduated this past December with my doctorate. So yeah, that's the whole, brother. Actually, I went to UNLV for my master's and my doctorate, but yeah, PhD, Doctor of Philosophy and Curriculum Instruction. So literally created our own framework for King of Jewels, but I talked about the youth group, like our experience in youth group a little bit. Something my dissertation committee was like, yeah, you need to do something when it comes to the Divine Nine youth groups in Vegas, because to be honest with you, Vegas Greek life was popping when the youth groups were popping.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. Like nobody can
Yeah.
tell us nothing. Like youth groups, y'all know, we all been a part of youth groups. It was either you was playing sports, you was in a youth group. If you was in one of those, you was lame. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
And I was away from the frat for a while. After, like, once I got drafted and when played and stuff, and even afterwards, I was kind of like, the wife and I were so caught up on possibly relocating that I was like, I don't feel like I want to just jump in and help out with the Kappa League right now, because like I don't want to be here short term and then boom, I'm out.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I need to get back active, man. I need to, because I remember, like, those are some of my fondest memories, bro, when we were kids, of when we went to Atlanta on our Kappa League trip. We went to Atlanta. It was
Devin.
I never forget that trip. Or just having meetings at the West Side Library, or learning how to tie a tie and just things like that.
Recipes to Bombay, man.
Bomb Bizzle. Yeah, man. But yeah, and I was actually telling some of my students at Centennial, when we were at Cheyenne, I was like, our cafeteria, like, it was like section. It was like the M5s and Divas was here. The Kappa League was here. You had the Omega Gents over here, the Sigma Beta Club. You had the Squad, the Wood. You had,
Yo, that's crazy. That's how Cane Springs was. That's exactly how Cane
you
was.
had everybody
That's a
set up, but it was still all love.
Mhm.
You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? But I do think that the mentorship and all that stuff needs to pick up. It needs to pick up just in general, man. I think our youth are missing a lot out here.
They need it more than ever. We're in a micro society, so all the kids nowadays want everything happen to them right now. They don't want the work in between thing. They want to start it and finish it right now. So I remember going through phase. I think our phase was like for damn near all school year, and I mean the Kappa League had crossed. And it was like, hey, bro, we still ain't crossed. I'm like, bro, this is the longest. But it made you like, whoever, we started like with 40 kids, or 40 students, and now they ended up crossing like 10. Because everybody dropped off.
about right. Everybody dropped off.
Just dropped off, you know what I mean? So it just showed you at a young age, like, hey, man, just see it through. You know what I mean? You had a point for see it through, too. So
see it through. That's right.
I was wondering, what you think, why do you think it dropped off so much? Why is it so not prevalent no more?
I think a huge part there's a couple of factors. I'll name three. One, COVID. COVID was a huge factor of why the decline of Divine Nine youth groups. And then the second thing, though, advisors changed. For everyone across the board. But the cool part was, I remember when Bombay Weekly kind of stepped down a little bit, but they were still around. It was Joe Thrower for the league, right?
Joe was our advisor.
Joe was our advisor, right? But then I think the dope part about the youth groups, well, they're advisors, then the transition, but then you still have folks who was holding it down even after them, right? Yeah. I remember I came home and it was still rocking. Even though I thought like, oh man, youth groups wasn't gonna rock, but they was still rocking 10 plus years after.
Yeah.
But then even after my time in Marvin, no one picked up the mantle. I can say on least for M5s and Divas. And I think that struggle kind of happened with the league too, where everyone remember what was, opposed to these kids now. These kids are different. And I think that's the second reason. The third reason, the kids don't really understand the culture because of that. Like, you went to the parade because you wanted to see the youth groups,
man,
right?
The
You
parade
knew.
was back then.
I remember the league. There was a time when the league was getting more love than the Noops. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I remember seeing that, and I remember being an M5 wanting to change in the image of everybody from 6-0 or everyone's from Squad.
Yeah,
like
that's what we thought. Like, that's what it seemed like, but
no, that's not how everyone was. Like,
wasn't.
Of course, clearly, when I joined, I was cool with all those dudes, but I was nowhere near.
Yeah,
my mom was not letting that happen, and all the big homies was definitely not letting that happen. They was like, nah, you stick to the books and stick to sports, and that's kind of was the great thing. But those are the three factors I'll tell you why Divine Nine youth groups are not as prevalent as dominant as they used to be. And then also, I'll say fourth, the parents. There's too much coddling going on. Even now, but I'm straight to the point. I don't care. You can say what you want. Like, I'm gonna let you know your son is messing up.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna let you know your daughter messing up too. I don't call them. I don't even call them my own kids. So no,
Calling nobody.
no. But that's part of the issue too. Like parents making excuses for their kids.
Right.
You trying to be friends with these kids. You ain't parenting these kids, and that's a huge part of the issue too. But we play the blame game all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
part of the issue though. I'll say those 4 factors. Those are the 4 that it kind of contribute to the decline of divine youth groups.
Gotcha.
How'd you know that like that was your path? Like,
Oh,
being
bro.
involved like that.
I'll say my senior year of youth group, my advisor named Jason Bisley, shout out to you, Frat. He was like, all right, bro, your grades are on point. You've been applying to colleges, but what's your plan? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, what's your plan? I need you to really sit here, and we're not having a regular meeting. This is where y'all gonna write down what are your goals, because you're about to graduate and you need to have something, even if you don't hit all these goals. What are your 5 goals for the next 10 years? And he was like, and actually mean it from your heart. Don't say it just to write it, because once you write it, you're responsible for it. And that was like, that hit hard to me for some reason. So my 5 goals were graduate with a bachelor's and get my master's in marriage and family therapy. That was first get my bachelor's and go for a master's program. That was the first goal. Second goal was to come back and be an advisor for the same youth group. Third was to get my master's and start a business at the same time. The fourth was to buy my mom a house. And the fifth was to get my doctorate. I achieved all 5.
Okay.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
I achieved all 5.
And not very many people do, man.
Yeah.
Not very many people do achieve their goals regardless. But kudos, like, and it's the work.
Yeah.
It's the work that you put in to actually achieve those things. I think a lot of people, especially the youth nowadays, everybody has a fear of failure.
Yeah.
Everybody has a fear of failure. A lot of people have a fear of rejection. I think that holds back a lot of kids.
That's the biggest one right there.
Fear of rejection. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Like it holds people back because they're so fearful of, if I try this and people look at me and just like, no, why even do that? Like they don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they just, I ain't even gonna try it. But
My
Really?
My nephew going through that right now.
Bro, rejection?
Yeah, he don't want to apply for any scholarships. He's a senior. He don't want to apply for. He's the one that go to Legacy. Yeah. Well, no, he don't go to Legacy. He play for Legacy. He goes to
yeah.
Northwestern.
Oh, you go to the Texas
new one?
Northwest.
Northwest?
Northwest.
Or
Northwest.
Northwest or Northeast? There's 2.
because Northeast is
Probably
a lot
Northwest.
Legacy.
Northwest.
Yeah,
He don't
that's
want to
what-
apply for scholarships because he feels like he has no chance and he's not going to get it.
Do you think social media has a big factor on why kids don't have confidence in themselves?
100%.
I believe so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
Bro, there's
I
no
think so, too.
failures
Nah.
really shown.
there's no failures in the show.
It's always finished product.
It's always, it
Filters.
doesn't show you the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think for us, social media was different.
Mm-hmm.
Like think
MySpace,
about
top 8.
MySpace top 8.
MySpace
If I
top 8.
take you out, I mean, I'm not dipped right now.
And think about the time we were on there. Prime time, us being on social media was not accessible on the phone.
Yeah,
It was at home in your computer. Make sure your mama's not on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's from
Dial-up.
4
Oh yeah.
till 11 at night.
Yeah.
That's the time we were
Hey,
on
don't
social
call me
media.
till after my minutes.
Oh, yeah.
My minutes is free.
So
You know what I'm
I think a huge part of that, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't in high school. I never thought, "Oh, I want to go to Bali." That's the conversation
I
these
know
kids
it
are
is.
having now.
Yeah.
Like
And freshmen.
We didn't even
and
hear
freshmen,
about that. We didn't even hear
no,
about that.
we never heard about a trip
Going
to
on cruises
Bali
and all that. We hear.
or Dubai. We didn't learn about
Yeah,
that till
none of that.
later,
Mhm.
or a cruise. No, unless your family was doing that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It wasn't accessible to see all that. I see the pros and cons in both. Like I
On
see
that
like
passport still.
I'm gonna need you to get that
Still,
together.
still got a passport.
You need to get that passport.
Immediately.
You need to get you that passport to me. At this point, there's no reason you should not have a passport.
You're 47 years old.
Damn, 47.
Attitude.
He had an extra 10 on there. He had an extra. But no, I think social media is a part of it. But I just think it's like our generation, we came into it. It wasn't as serious as it is now, where now mainstream has got into social media.
Yeah.
Right now, everything is like, hey, make
Took over the
content money
world.
here.
Yeah.
Folks just did it because it was fun.
Yeah.
I think it's still happening, but now it's about making a profit, making a career, which can be both a good or a bad thing, but
Right.
then it also breeds laziness. So I think that's what happened with social. Part of it was social media with
And
kids.
I think that people need to do a better job of showing like the journey.
Yeah.
Like, so I talked to a lot of my students at Centennial, and they're like, "Oh, I want to do YouTube, and I want to do this, I want to do this." And I'm like, "Do y'all realize how hard that is?
Oh, it's hard.
Like, you got to actually have the time to figure out like what's your niche, like the content creation, the editing, the this, all this other stuff." And you got to think it's probably millions of people doing the same thing, but they don't see it.
What's
They
gonna
just
catch
see,
them?
huh?
Yeah. What's gonna catch their eye?
Yeah, man.
You know?
I think it becomes that balance between what's authentic, what's being authentic, or you trying to just get attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
And then now you got AI coming into the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
yeah.
Goodness.
Bro, did y'all
That
see the
shit's
kid
muddy in the
who
waters
had
even
AI
more.
football highlights?
Yeah.
No, I ain't see that.
Bro,
I seen that.
It was a high school kid.
How did they find it was AI? How did they find out it was AI?
Bro, I don't know how, but it was AI like the deep pass and the catch and all the other stuff was straight AI.
It wasn't
It was a
him.
quarterback.
It's to that point now.
It was a quarterback.
I think he was either quarterback or receiver. I forget what. Yeah.
So he probably going crazy, hurling,
But-
running shit over. What?
But what most folks don't know, on a higher end level, they have AI detectors to tell
okay.
what you're doing. So like
Yeah.
I tell students now, because I got students. Oh my bad, I forgot to mention. I'll get back to that. So I teach at government economics for high school seniors. I'm a senior business analyst for the College of Southern Nevada, and then I also I'm one of the lead facilitators, education facilitators, and MCs for the Know Your Rights Camp, Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights Camp, and
We
then
gonna get to that, brother.
Definitely.
I also do King of Jewels. So those are the 4 things that I do. But to get my students, they'll try to sit here and AI their essays, and I'm like,
ChatGPT.
and I'm like, yo, I can tell you didn't write this, because on a higher ed level, I co-taught the restorative justice course,
Yeah.
and there's an AI function that tells us,
Yeah.
all right, this was here's AI, this not them, and we can tell your grammatical rhythms. So like I'm like, you can try cheating if you want, but
That started in
college is getting smart.
College. I remember when I was at Cal, it was like we had to do something. It was like turnitin.com. Something like that.
Yep.
That was the first like AI generate. So if you copied and pasted, you have to upload your paper to turnitin.com, and then your professor would see
Stanford did the same thing.
everything. Yeah.
All y'all schools up there, they did that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Nuts, bro. And this is back in like 2010, 2011. They started doing this.
Write my
Yeah.
reports. I'm ChatGPT. Everything.
Nah, I think
chat.
you just gotta use if you're gonna use it properly.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you're trying to research these articles by this author. All right, I don't have access. Hey, chat, can you find these articles for this?
Okay.
I'm still gonna do the reading. I'm still gonna highlight, just find the articles for me.
Yeah.
That's a smarter way than just, hey, write this
Write
on
this
me,
for me.
this article. Like it's 2 different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My brain cells a little bit.
Yeah. I got a question. Like, balancing all of the things
Bro, that's where I was going.
you're doing
I don't know how
with
you
the
do this
family
shit.
Yeah.
and hobbies.
Yeah.
How's all that balanced?
Bro, how do you do all of this shit, bro?
To be honest with you, I live by the calendar, but it took a toll on me. I'll tell you the downside of what doing all this stuff has happened to me physically. So, because I was finishing a dissertation and I was doing King of Jewels and I'm flying doing Know Your Rights Camp with the homie, it got to the point my health took a decline. So these past 6, after finishing I defended in October, only thing I'm doing now is King of Jewels stuff. I had to tell my folks, like, hey, I can't do nothing because I've been mentally and spiritually exhausted to the point where my health wasn't good, bro. Like, I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So because I was drinking mad soda I was eating bad. Like, but the gym, I could get work in the gym. That's
You used to
the
post
issue.
your stuff about the gym.
Oh yeah, because I go, like, and it was nothing. But then when I was trying to finish the dissertation, that was 2 months of me like staying up
Yeah.
staying up till 2-3 in the morning, and then I would still go to the gym. And like my gym was my only outlet. And then at the time, before becoming a teacher, I was in a working environment that was very toxic, which is why you probably won't see me go for politics. I didn't have the best experience at my previous where I was at, but I was going through therapy at the same time. But my outlet that was for me was going to the gym. But I knew I could run, I could lift, but I was eating terribly. But I needed to stay awake. It was because I got to the point I couldn't keep up with my meal preps. So these past 6 months, no one else really knew because you still see me moving. I've been on a little hiatus as far as doing extra community work. But before that, it was easy. It was like, all right, stuff is spread out. But by the time you see me post it, it looks like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because for the Know Your Rights camp, I do those 2-3 times a year, spread out. No, for King of Jewels, we go to our Upper Brown 2-3 times a month, and then we see our boys that same day. But the content you see is after I already cut it up, and it's like, boom.
Okay.
The engagement's still there, right? So realistically, I'm doing this on the weekends.
Okay.
Right? Or an event I'd have committed to 6 months prior. So I'm a planner. Like right now, y'all caught me at a time where it's like I ain't had nothing going on, which was great.
Yeah.
And then I'm only choosing to accept yes from certain things. So like I've been watching y'all show, and then I got mad love and respect to y'all since before I became this Dr. Sean Tory. And I know Deshaun, I didn't know you prior, but it's like these three I had mad respect for. So I was like, oh yeah, like y'all asked me, I'm coming. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of how I balanced that. I lived by my calendar. And the reason how I got good at it, and I'll tell you, not to be too long away, but I'll end with this note. During my master's program, I had a GA-ship so I can get my school paid for my master's. And I worked at South Haven on Graveyard. So this was my schedule. I'm gonna tell you, this is my schedule 4 days out the week. 8 a.m. to 12:30, I was either at Valley High School, Mojave, or West Prep. I was working for the Center for Academic Enrichment and Outreach for UNLV, and I would work with those kids, then go to class from 1 to 3:45, then see clients because I was trying to be a therapist at the time from 4 to 8 p.m. Then I'll go home, kiss Imani at the time because it was just her at the time, then go to work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, and then I would do that 4 days a week. That was my schedule. That was my schedule.
Oh, you
so
was grinding, bro.
I was grinding, and I wasn't making much money at all. I wasn't making money at all, bro. I was broke. But I had that grind because I was like, I'm almost there. That's how the mindset was like, I'm almost there. I have a reason. I had these 5 goals in the back of my mind. I had a reason. Then now Imani kicked it up a notch.
Okay.
I did, because the one thing, I know what homeless feels like.
Yeah.
I've been through it. I did not want Imani to ever experience it. And of course she don't. She an AAU hoop kid who lives her best life. Then, you know, the
She
big
out there
picture.
hooping too.
Yeah.
She doing
Oh,
that
that
thing.
traveling, that's a call.
Yeah, dog. And like that was,
And I know that.
that's
Yeah,
how
you
that's
did
how to
baseball.
answer that question. That's how it happened. Like it all started there because I knew how to prioritize my time. But the downfall, I developed sleep apnea. And like these things took a toll on my health. So when I tell people, "Were you that dedicated?" It's something you're gonna lose somewhere. And y'all talked about that too.
Yeah.
I heard y'all talk about that where either health, something else declines. And I was like, "You're right." Oh, that's why I was living y'all show.
Yeah.
When y'all talked about it, I was like, "You're right, bro. My health is the one that took the decline."
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Hey, so
so yeah, y'all know I watch y'all show.
so
That's love, bro. I appreciate that.
this past weekend, you got an award at so
Western Province, yeah.
at my friend's Western Province council meeting. You and Nick got an award for what was it? Community service and citizenship or something.
Yep. Thomas Bradley Community
Thomas
Service.
L. Bradley.
Yep. Thomas Bradley. Yep.
How did that come about? Like when I saw that, I thought that was dope because Nick is obviously frat, but you're not frat. It just goes to show like it don't matter where you are, like or what organization you're in, like a group of black men, we notice what you're doing.
Facts.
So how did that come about? Like they reached out to you?
Yeah, they reached out to us in December. So in December, they were like, "Hey, congratulations, you and Nick won." I was like, "You sure? It's not just Nick." They was like, "Nah, it's you and Nick." And I said, "I'm so thankful because I've got on people about that. Like, because King of Jewels is not just me.
Right.
It's Nick and I. And I'm always, anytime it's about King of Jewels, it's always Nick and I. And Nick and I, we move that way. We don't meet with people unless we can't without each other. And we've been successful in that for 10 years. Yeah. And, you know, Nick came through the league too. I don't know if
he
knew
did.
that, but Nick came through the league too. But it was definitely a surreal moment because, you know, the first 2 people I thought about was Weekly and Bombay.
Weeks and Bombism.
Those 2, because our first conference in 2016, Bombay was the first one there teaching boys how to tie ties. It was a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Because it was like, even though I wasn't unified, Bombay still taught me how to tie a tie. At Ascot, bow tie.
Yeah.
He's the reason I became the Dapper Eight. Like he
A
taught me.
lot of people, bro.
Everybody.
A lot of people.
And that's another part too. The youth group advisors mentored all of us.
Yep.
I knew who was the
Ricky
Omega
Barlow and
JVs.
Yep.
All of, they had hands on all of us. We kind of lost that essence too. But to get back to why that meant so much, it was full circle because it was like, dang, 10 years later, we getting recognized by the Noops, and the Noops have been supportive of us since day one.
Yeah.
And it was dope to show them like, yo, a Noop and an Ape can get together
Absolutely.
and do this. You know what I mean? And two kids from the North, an M5 and a Cavalier, can do this.
Yep.
And it don't matter which colors or which frat you come through. But
the why is bigger than
and that's the thing.
anything. The why is the kids.
I think that too, that the grunt work, you know, the other part, and I don't mean to cut you off. I just think the kids we get are the kids no one really cares to get. They're not polished, or they're quiet, or we don't know what's really wrong. We don't know how to. Nah, we figured out our method. We figured out our methodology that really gets them to open up.
Gotcha.
Because we get the kids who are knocked up in Spring Mountain, Caliente, or the kids who, we get some of the kids who are definitely polished, like 4.0 kids, but we get a lot of the kids who are in the middle who just need to push.
Yeah.
So it was full circle.
Believe in them. That's the whole thing.
That's it.
It's I think a lot, especially the world we're living now. A lot of kids raising kids. Like your age don't make you an adult. You know what I mean? Your age never. You be 37 years old. You're still a child. You know what I'm saying? So I think that comes of people getting coddled, and then for like somebody like me, like growing up real fast, I was scared of nightmare. I lived a nightmare, so I for sure knew I never want to be how kids be living a nightmare. Either you're scared of nightmare, or you're numb to staying in it. You know what I mean? So either you're gonna keep going forward, keep going forward, and leave this nightmare behind you, or you're gonna stay in that nightmare, and it's just swallowing your heartaches like that. You know
Facts.
what I mean? So I'm big on that. What do you think your biggest push was? Was it a nightmare thing, or was it a goal thing?
As far as which part?
As far as you getting to where you at today, as far as your upbringing with that.
I remember being the kid no one paid attention to. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was around everyone who was popular, but I wasn't popular. Like, folks looked at me like I was like, yo, who's he? Like, they didn't really care for me.
Yeah.
They thought I was lame, but the folks who were considered cool didn't see me that way. So Lil Mario, Mook, Chuck, Charles, all them was like, yo, no, he got something in him. And they like when everyone else was like, yo, because I wasn't Park Squad Up. I wasn't from the mob.
Yeah.
But Nick Lewis too. The homie Nick Lewis too. Like, all these dudes was like, yo, son cool though. And like, he's smart too. Like, and that meant a lot for them to defend me or be like, yo, this dude is cool. He's just not on that type of time, before everyone else saw me as this community guy.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of these kids now go through that same struggle. So a part of it is healing for me, but a huge part is also showing them like, hey, bro, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fuck what they got to
Yeah.
Fuck what these people got to say.
Yeah, fuck them.
Because
that shit.
fuck that shit.
that shit.
I mean, I'm sorry. Because those same folks now who were shitting on me when I was like younger, it's like, hey, man, mad respect for what you're doing. And I'm like, damn, that's full circle. Because I'm not the type of person who, even though I know you was talking shit, I'm not going.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I don't know, that should be known.
Snugged on.
Can I message?
I remember you, bros. I remember that.
Hey, you mentioned earlier, and it kind of stuck. You mentioned earlier, like you was in therapy and stuff. Obviously, we talk about a lot on this podcast about like the mental health and trying to be right mentally and stuff like that. What do you think the benefits are for you, and do you think that? I mean, I pretty much know the answer. Like, what are your thoughts on like therapy, like if within the Black community, especially with us Black men? And I said, because I've thought about going to therapy myself, and like, not that there's something like wrong, it's just to go and just get some stuff out, talk or whatever. So,
And I'll admit first, I'm biased on it because I went to therapy when it first started therapy when it wasn't popular. I went back in 2012. When I found out I was about to be a father for the first time with Imani. Because at the time, me and my dad did not have a good relationship at all. But my fear was, oh, what if something happened with me and the mom? And then I'm like, forget it, because she giving me a headache. I ain't gonna be there for you either. Because that's what I went through. What I went through was like my dad was like, I love you, but I ain't trying to deal with your mama type of deal. But like he was in and out. You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I had it made up. I don't care what your mama does. I'm gonna make sure I'm there for you. I'll make sure I got my rights. But I will say, I understand why dads be like, F. Oh yeah.
So
Yes.
so for sure.
I just remember that after I said it. I will tell you, I completely understand why dads are like, forget it. And it's hard to stay in. It's easy to walk away. But I went to therapy first for that. Like, let me clear up what are some things that I'm not seeing right. Maybe a third perspective could help. And 13 years later, me and my oldest got a great relationship. She couldn't imagine the world with me not being there. But I also had to watch that not overcompensate of what I missed. So there's that balance. But then also dealing with racial microaggression in the workplace, being one of those, not knowing who I am as, yeah, I'm Sean Tory first, Dr. Sean Tory in a professional space, but I'm not changing up who I am. I'm not gonna dim my blackness for you because you uncomfortable.
We talked about
You know what I'm saying?
Do your shit.
I can wear an ascot bow tie and be flyer than your husband, white lady. And then I also can dress down and be fly with it because I'm from the north and the west sides. But you're gonna get both at the same time. And that's how I showed up. And that's how I still show up. You know what I mean? And but it took years to get that type of confidence. But I think part of it was keeping this confidence, not arrogance. I don't treat people, because the thing is, I don't treat people like shit, but at all, by any means. I don't care who you are. I show you love and respect to anybody. And I've always been that way. But the biggest part was making sure for myself, I can exist in this space. I'm not tripping. What I'm seeing is what I'm actually experiencing. You feel me? Because sometimes they try to project like it's you. And they do that to black folks all the time.
Yeah.
And
gaslighting.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what therapy has helped me with. Because the last time I was in therapy was me dealing with racially microaggression in a workspace, because I've never dealt with it before from Caucasian folks. I'm gonna be honest. Like, cause that's when I was like, what the hell? But the older black generation was like, yeah, dog, this is why we're like, if you're gonna be vocal, you gotta be willing to take what comes with it. And then also you gotta be mindful. There's certain battles that's not worth fighting.
Yeah.
So I had to learn.
I used to be like that. I used to be like, fuck this. I don't care. I don't care what. I don't care what
As
happens.
soon as I got to my trade, it was like that. Oh, it's to me black people.
Like, certain things ain't need to be said, but some things do need to be said so they can know not to fuck with you. Like there was, hey, you feel me? Yes, a fact. On some he is exams, and so I had to catch my snap because I'm like, oh yo, what up, snap? Oh, what up, Grant? I had to sweat because I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. We at work.
I'm like, bro, you straight. I ain't changing up nothing. Officer Snug.
No, that's what HR nightmare. Officer Parks be at work. I'll be like, yeah, Snook. She be like, Johnson. Yeah.
Nothing.
Catch myself because I'm like, oh, I know, bro, outside of work, but I be trying to be like, nah, let me stay professional.
When I seen him, though, 'cause I was in the bathroom, he came in. He was like, Snug, I'm looking around. Hold on, who called me that? I'm like, why you up here? He was like, I'm up here teaching. I said, where? The portable. I said, oh, bet. I said, all right, cool. Yeah, but I was shocked. I'm like, somebody called me Snug up in here? What's going on?
I was like, oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Hey, what's your motivation? So, depending on how comfortable you feel with it, because we've talked about our different dynamics, like with our fathers. You know, Sean didn't grow up with one. Snug's his father, David's dad passing, mine going to prison. What's the deal with, if you're comfortable talking about like the relationship with your father and things of that sort, and how did that help shape and mold the man that you are today? Because that's a big theme with us. And so with you saying that, then, and as long as I've known you, I didn't know that. Yeah. You know, I peep from a distance, like when you post things like Mom Dukes is always there. You know what I'm saying? But I never noticed that dad wasn't there. So talk about.
So me and my dad are actually good now, but he doesn't like to be on. He doesn't care to be posted. So that's part of him. But the dynamic between me and him was always rocky because I was always put in the middle. And with him and my mom, because him and my mom would duke it out. He was like, "Hey, Sean, I love you, but I gotta love you from a distance." What the fuck does that mean? Like I didn't get. as a kid, like, why am I responsible for defending you against her? I shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? Because regardless of what, like, as my mom did a good job though of not talking down on him, but when they did get into it, I would see, and I'm like, yo, mom, chill, or there was a situation my mom did do something very foul and didn't uphold her end of what they agreed to. I called my mom out on it. I was like, you foul for that, but then I ended up getting the burnt end of the stick of the situation. And it was having to do with college. My dad got me a car. Tricked out 1996 Honda Accord. Put rims on it, black, had the black stripe on it, white car. Oh, listen, he said after your freshman year, you could take this thing up there. But my mom didn't, she was messed up. She was supposed to let him claim me on his taxes, and she didn't. So then it was like, hey, if your mom don't switch it over, this car is gone. And it was like, damn, like, and there was nothing I could do. But then my mom felt bad and then got me my 95 Mustang. So, but at the same time, it was like, still that's foul. Don't do that. So like, I can understand now as a dad, those little things ain't cool. But but becoming a dad and then becoming divorced, going through my situation with the mother of my older two, I was like, oh, hey, Pop, I get it. There's certain things like I get it, and we had a conversation. But the difference that he admires me for now, and he was at my house yesterday, just like, hey, man, one thing I really love that you did, you were there for your kids. And like, no matter what happens. And I was like, yeah. Because I know what that's like. You know, like, to be in the middle. So that dynamic showed him like, damn, okay. You know what I mean? So me and him are cool now, and certain things, like my dad, I remember all the things I do now, he didn't get it. When I told him that I was like, hey, I want to mentor and I want to do this, I want to get kids exposure, he said, yo, you stupid. Oh, you know, he's not stupid. He's like, that's stupid. Like, you ain't gonna make no money from that. And then
That's that generation.
that's that generation though.
That's that
He didn't
generation.
understand. He was like, just get into a trade, be a firefighter like you said you was gonna do. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to do this. And then when I put my daughter's I put a basketball court for my daughters in my backyard. And he was like, man, that's dope you doing that. I was like, yeah, that's that mentor money. As a slight, I did it as a slight jab. But we can laugh about it now. And he was like, when I was getting ready to defend, he was like, hey, I just want you to know I apologize, like, for telling you that was stupid, because now I get it.
That's dope. Man, that's, ooh, shit, that just hit home, brother.
How's the relationship with your wife and ex-wife now? Like,
Oh, my ex-wife loves my wife.
oh, for real? That's fire. That's dope.
Shout out to Jazz.
Jasmine is fire.
That's my little sis. Shout out to Jazz.
Jasmine, but like, you know, me and my ex-wife were actually
First fam ass with
You already
marriage.
know that, goddamn right.
First.
Me and my ex-wife, we cool. You know, it's cool. Thank God. You know, it used to be worse, but we do what we can. We're cordial. You know what I mean? It's better than most, but she definitely likes my wife more than me, which is cool.
That's dope.
I'd rather that. I'd rather you hate me more than her, but my wife is solid. You know Jasmine. Jasmine work with bro.
Jasmine, solid.
There was a time, and I'll tell y'all this story. This is how raw Jasmine is. So me and the ex is arguing outside and in front of the car. Jasmine's in the car with the girls, and the girls are just like, yeah, this is typical, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like making her mad. It was on me. I was making her mad, but I just wasn't giving her the response she wanted. I'll take ownership. You feel me, son? I'll take ownership. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then Rachel opens the door. Sorry, ex-wife opens the door and was like, yo, can you talk to Sean? Because he's not being responsive. Jasmine gets out and says, listen, I'm here to help you both with these girls, but they can't keep seeing y'all like this. Because it's all they see. And you do not want them to keep seeing y'all like this for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. She gets back in the car, closes the door.
So
that's how cold my wife is.
Sounds good, right?
That's how cold my wife is.
I give you the perspective right there. Like, yeah.
So from then on, we've always been make sure if we disagree, we don't disagree in front of them. Don't mean it happened before, but we always try to make sure we don't argue in front of them. Like, we try to make sure we get along as best we can. Like, we don't agree on things all the time, but there it is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's dope, brother. That's cool.
That's awesome. That's dope.
Hell yeah.
That's dope. How's it being like working with Colin Kaepernick, bro? How's that?
To me, it's just that's the homie.
That's the homie, you know him.
I think that's it.
Outside of everything, yeah.
Shout out to Cap.
Yeah,
shout out to bro.
Cap.
Shout out to Cap.
Shout out to Cap, Nessa, his wife, and the whole Know Your Rights family. It's
Shout
a
out to
family
y'all
over
for
there
sure.
for real.
Yeah.
So like how I met bro, And now this is fast forward the story, but you know him because y'all played football against
We
each
played
other.
football against each other,
Yeah.
and he's my frat brother.
And we used to smack y'all. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Bro, we lost to y'all one time.
Yeah, that's true.
One
That's
time.
true. It was one time, but that game was
And
wild.
he went off.
Oh my God, that game was
Hey,
amazing.
He had 200 passing and 200 rushing
Yes, it was crazy.
on ESPN.
It was
Oh,
crazy.
damn.
It was
Disrespectful.
but that year, that's
Bro.
when we beat Boise, and Boise was like number 3.
Y'all had B Marsh, y'all had
Yeah,
Richard,
Jard,
y'all had Vi.
AD, y'all bought, we had everybody.
Yeah, y'all was solid.
We was college. So I met bro back in college and my freshman year because I didn't know at the time, but he was interested in being a noob. And of course the noobs was trying to get me and I thought about it, but it's not the direction I wanted to go, right? Being a noob. But I thought about it because I definitely was like the young pretty boy type. I thought about it for sure. But that's how we met. That's how we met though, was because of that. And then when he crossed, he was like, yo, Sean, bro, you like, what's good? You dress like a noob, you smooth like one, this is what you belong. He tried to recruit me. And I was like, as much as I love and respect you, bro, this is not the way. And I think that's part of the relationship we always had because I kept it real, like, nah, that ain't for me, bro. And then one day I went to the library and he was there. He's like, bro, you study. I'm like, I'm about to go to this room. He's like, yo, come up with me. So we studied with him. And then our homie Kane, and I thank Kane for this to this day. He was like, yo, me, Colin, and Dre's his line brother. He's like, yo, we finna lift. You wanna lift with us? He need an extra body. I said, bet. So that's when our friendship started. And we started lifting together. So I was Colin's third workout of the day.
Dang that.
Third. That's how
Bro, folks don't know Cap work, man.
Cap worked, bro.
Cap work, bro.
And he's smart as hell. Bro graduated with 3.8.
Yeah.
Bro is smart as hell in college. And the 3.8 in college is insane. And so he did that. We used to kick it in the center. And the center is a student cultural diversity center at the time. This is the one place where none of us treated him like Colin Kaepernick. He was like, no, you just one of the homies. We don't care about none of that. We gonna flame you. We flamed each other. And even our dynamic now, we still talk shit. Like when we play spades, it was like, after this camp, what's going on? We up late at night playing spades, talking shit. And that's until 3 a.m. That's still us to this day. And that's been a friendship I've had now, oh my God, 17 years. But so like the world sees him as the like
They don't know, man.
And he is rightfully so. He's Colin Kaepernick next to Muhammad Ali, next to Jackie Robinson, all these dudes who stood up. And I've been able to meet folks because of bro. I met Madame Shabazz, which is Malcolm X's daughter. I've met a Chameleonaire and all these other folks because of bro. But the reason that came together is because I was like, hey, bro, because at that time we lost contact. And I said, hey, Brandon, tell Colin we need to do a Know Your Rights camp here. And he said, oh, easy work. All you got to do is pitch it to the team. I got the yes on this side. And that was the communication back. I was like, easy. So back in 2021, he was like, hey, send an email here. This is to his manager at the time, and we'll get a meeting scheduled. I sent my email formally and set up the Zoom meeting. His manager was like, hey, man, there's a lot of people who always say, oh, yeah, we went to, we went to college with Colin, da-da-da-da. But when your name came up, he was like, book that meeting. Yeah. I said, that's love. You feel me? Because Colin is Colin. We ain't gonna act like he ain't him. He's him. And so he was like, all right, this sounds great. You got to pitch it to the team, who's Tone, Jay, and the rest of the team that's there. And I was like, all right, bet. I was like, all right, y'all, how many of y'all been to Vegas? Because at this point, these are all folks who are in radio. We talking Hot 97, who works with Funk Flex. These are those folks. And they come out here for iHeartRadio and all that on time. I'm like, oh yeah, we was just in Vegas for iHeart, da-da-da. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. How many of y'all been outside the strip? And they was like, none of us. I was like, so you never been to Vegas. And so here's the issue. You got black kids. We make up 700,000 in the district, right? So then we make up 14% of the district, right? But 37 of us are locked up with juvenile justice. This is public record. Here's the shuttle for this. So I'm up here dropping stats about black and brown kids. And this is why y'all need to bring Know Your Rights camp here. Everyone goes to the strip, but they never come to the north. They never came to the west side. They never came to the east. Never been to Vegas. And the whole time they were quiet after I said that. And I didn't know how I did. Right afterwards, Colin was like, hey, bro, I don't know what you did, but we coming to Vegas. so then, so in 2022, that's when we had the Know Your Rights camp. We had over 300 kids pull up. And then Colin never saw me in Sean presenting mode to kids. And they was like, bro, you took it up a notch. Can you do this in LA? I said, bet. So flew me out to LA. I did that one in front of 800 kids. I had 800 kids doing rock, paper, scissors and coming up to the mic talking. And Colin came up to me afterwards and said, hey, bro, you locked in now. And so now, and since then, I've been doing the Know Your Rights camps. That's
What is the Know Your Rights camp?
So the Know Your Rights camp is his baby. So, after he took the knee, he wanted to figure out how can he let kids around the know their rights, get into tech, also care about their health, care about their mental health, and care about education. So that was his first attempt, like making the nonprofit so for kids to really understand the rights of their state, federal, and local laws. So that's what Know Your Rights Camps is. And he brings in different folks who are experts in that. We'll do workshops and we do big mentors, battle panel as well. And that's what Know Your Rights Camp is. So Your Rights Camp is the IG, or if you want to go to the website, www.knowyourrightscamp.org. Yeah, you see Asani Tony, I plugged us. Boom, there you go.
So what's next? What's next on the plate for Dr. Sean Tory, man? Like you keep checking shit off the list. Like you keep
You need a list.
I got another. I have another list. It's on the works. So the next thing now, King of Jewels. We're working on our trademark, and we're working on our first publication, which is technically my dissertation. That's about to be out soon. So if y'all ever want to read that, yeah. So like I'm one more step away from that being published, and that'll be our first publication, which is my dissertation. We got to get Nick in because he got to do his dissertation too. But we're gonna start doing publications, research on, because that's the problem. Many of us do the mentoring, but our stuff doesn't live in those databases. So then when you're researching Black youth mentoring, you're only gonna get a certain amount of hits until you really got to dig through the algorithm. And even the real good stuff is 200 some articles later. And that's part of the issue too, like where the algorithm is low-key biased. Because I'm trying to look for Black authors who write about Black youth.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Because we understand that. Like, and those are the issues you deal with the higher you go. So the next thing is doing more publications. The next thing is also providing job opportunities for our kids to actually work for us. So right now we got 2 interns. We have an intern that runs our social media, and we have an intern who runs our website. They do it. We tell them what to do, they do it. And we're trying to get them paid. And the next part is open them a podcast so the kids could start being more vocal, and they interview folks like y'all, and they interview folks like Horsford and all these other folks. That's the next move for us. So we're getting those things. That's in production right now, trying to get the kids who really want to be in front of the camera or want to be behind the camera, learn what your guy's doing, learn those things, because these are things you can take on to college. Because the gentleman, the young brother who's running our website, he got accepted to Georgia Tech. He got accepted to some of the big, he got accepted to some big schools, and that's what he wants to do. And he even gave us a pilot website to where people can find a mentor. He developed that himself.
Oh,
That's the type of things we trying to do. Like really show them like, yo, you can be in these spaces and still have your chains and be fly, but then walk in all these spaces at the same time. How do you conduct yourself and not code switching for none of it? Just knowing the time and place.
David talked about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't code switch.
Yeah.
Don't do none of that.
Fast.
I just know time and place for things. That's it.
I'm gonna steal that.
Mhm.
Steal
Please do.
on everything.
That's great, bro. Golly, making so many moves and touch so many lives, bro. You gotta write a book, man.
Yeah, one day.
You gotta write a book.
One day I think it's more about amplifying the kids' voices. Even when you read my dissertation, because I'll send it to y'all when it's available, chapter 4, you really hear what the kids have to say. I want to amplify their voices. Me, yeah, it's cool. You know, you can watch these podcasts if you want to learn about me, but I really want to amplify these kid voices because they are smarter than what people give credit for. And that's just really where it comes down. That's what I'm passionate about, because I remember being that kid who had so many dreams, but I didn't have someone to pour into me until I became an MFI. And those Black men was like, bro, I don't think you know who you are yet. And I was like, I didn't get it. But now, being where I'm at, I'm like, okay, I see what they saw. That's it, bro.
That's awesome, brother. That's
So
great.
your questions, I think
I'll ask him
Who
questions.
said?
Yeah, you said you had some
Yeah,
questions.
questions, yeah.
You said you had some questions for
I
us.
did.
Okay,
I did. Matter of fact, matter of fact, it's going towards Sean, bro. The Sean, right?
Yeah.
My brother. I want to make sure I get you right because Sean's is great names in the world. But when you talked about identity on your show, for black men's identity, what? And I wanted to go deeper into that. Where do you think that stems from? As far as
I don't even remember what I said.
I'm trying to remember verbatim what you said, but I loved what you said because it had me think about. I think it's the outside influences, right? You talked about. So we talked about hip hop. We talked about what does it mean to be black men? That's what the gist of what you were saying.
Oh, I
You think I know what I'm talking about?
No,
I'm not.
I remember. Shit, we was in the other room. I remember.
In this one right here?
Yeah, we was over there. God,
Was it about legacy?
Yeah. Part of it was about legacy, but part of it was about these personas we take on from what we learn about in the culture.
Oh, I think that's talking about how it's being the trade, like how we first. Well, I remember for a little bit about that. Well, as soon as you go anywhere, first about being an electrician, ain't too many black people's electrician. So you show up on the job site, they think you're gonna be loud, late, and lazy. Those are 3 strikes against you. And identity wise, you're already fighting an uphill battle. So you have to come in with the mindset that you got to be better, physically, mentally, emotionally better than these people here because you're trying to prove yourself there. So I think as black men, we're put into a place to where we are behind the 8 ball. A lot of things from the social racism, redlining, this taking the black man out the household and males versus men. I'm big on the male versus men. The male is something that a person that feels right.
I remember y'all said that too.
A man is right. That's a big thing as far as identity wise for me. And I think the more we dive into us as men, black men, I think we're becoming a stronger presence. It's more fathers now. Like it's not highlight, but it's become more presence. But I think our generation, we grew up, a lot of households, broken households. It was the woman raising the kids, or the man raising the kids. Majority of the time was the woman raising the kids. I think we're breaking that mold.
I think the tough thing though, especially here in Vegas, and I like envy like other cities and stuff when I see it. They'll have like, because we just don't like they have it, or like God, what's the thing? I think it was a dad strolling.
Like dad's a stroll, yeah.
Dad's a stroll, or even if it's not just like about like fatherhood type of stuff. It's like we don't have like a Houston has like the fit weekend, or this place has this. It's just a lot of stuff that we don't have technically right now.
There's a lot of things.
We got some of it too though. Like black people hike thing. Black people ride the.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, yeah. I think it's around Clinton, everybody.
But I think the thing about it, the issue is things are in silos. So because I'm out here doing events, but I'm very clear on what I do. Everyone knows I'm the youth guy. Right? Young men, young girls don't matter. Mentoring, you go to Sean, kind of thing. Like I found my niche. But everyone's doing something. There's stuff out here, but I think the thing that people have to take into account, Houston, Philly, LA, these cities are over 100 to 200 years old. Vegas is not even there. And then even the infrastructure, if we're going to talk about how Vegas was built, was not communally built. Everything is not walking distance like it is in Philly, like it is in LA. Like there's more, like if you really think about it that way, like Vegas is not built to walk from here to Henderson. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
Mostly entertainment though too though.
Agriculturally, not architecturally not built for to be a city like that. And like, these are things we got to keep in mind, because even when they were building, the West Side was the place where all we can go. That was it.
They call Vegas Mississippi the West.
Yes, that was very much true. But when you start to travel, I traveled a lot of places, and like yes, you go to Philly, they got the Freemason buildings, they got a lot of history there. My frat brother Kyle, who's doing great things for the Eco Foundation, he pays his kids to take fresh produce to the neighborhoods. But guess what? Out there in Philly, they can grow produce. We can't. We got a few places, but it ain't a whole lot to where, because we outsource a lot. We got to think about what Vegas is. You know what I mean? There's even the Mind Our Youth groups. If you weren't in the mix, you didn't know about the Unity Step Show. You didn't know about these things.
Yeah.
But that wasn't me. I know about shit.
You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that There aren't things we don't have. We have things here. But I get understand though, because it's like, no, we're not 100+ years old. And think about the foundation of Vegas. Vegas was not built on family. It wasn't built on building family structure.
Absolutely not.
It was built on money by the mob. You know what I mean? Quick and go, communal. So you got to look at it from that perspective. But those things are happening. You go downtown now, there's local spots. I go to Echo, you go to Analog Dope, you go to Fins and Feathers.
Fins and Feathers. Yes, sir.
These things are here now.
Yeah, for sure.
There is, but that even I'll say Black Las Vegas, there's things happening. Even not Black, there's things that are annually happen that people just if you don't know, you don't know. And I get it though.
Because I know when was it? Was it last year? It was a few years ago. We had the black men's like the flash mob, where we got all dressed up.
Two years
ago. It was like 2 years ago.
Oh, we all did.
Yeah. And I thought that I was hoping that this one was gonna be bigger. I couldn't make it. My flight got canceled. I was coming back from Seattle, so I couldn't make it. But just so what things like that, like, I don't know, maybe it's just being from the city. Like it's so much more that we can do. Like we're so much more than just the damn strip and the entertainment, and everybody's talking about like, we're getting an NBA team, we're getting the baseball team. And I think that's like the focus that everybody has. But it's just like, man, there's so much more. There's so much more to Vegas. And I'm guilty of it as well, because I can speak for myself. I'm guilty of things like, okay, I want the Capital League to be better. Okay, well, for years, I ain't pay my damn dues. I just paid my dues in September. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? I don't have any
backdated too or no? Like,
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Not backdate.
No, brother. Nah.
In the rear.
Boy.
You were active for this year, and you've been inactive for these minutes. They keep track of how long you ain't been active.
But I need to, and so I can't continue to complain about what's not happening when I have the power and the resources to contribute.
Yeah.
So I remember one of my football players asked me about joining the Capital League last year, and I was like, I don't know. But I can call Brother Terrence West. I can call Weekly. I can call Darion. But I was just making excuses. You know what I'm saying? But if we want the city to be what we want it to be, especially when we're talking about our black and brown young men and women, like we don't have no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like in whatever we do, football coach and whatever I do, like I ain't got no excuses. Yeah. I got to. So
yeah, I think the huge, but I will tell you the downside of what I do see. There's a lot of selfishness going on, ego-driven stuff.
Oh
yeah.
I'll touch on that.
Yeah. It's very much
on that.
And like I'm somebody who's cool with folks doing their thing, and I kind of stay in my bubble when it comes to like things I do. I'll do other things when folks ask, right? I don't mind, but have seen people care about the wrong things. We can't, like right now, gas is an issue. Students don't have jobs they can't get. And we sitting here worried about, oh, I didn't get this many people who come to my event. Yeah. Well, what about the people who did come? Like, give them, like, I don't care if it's 5. The 5 came.
Because whoever needs to be there going to be there.
Because exactly, that part. And then when you're consistent, people will pick up on it. It took, bro, I've been mentoring since really before, like officially since 2013. Ain't nobody cared that I was teaching kids how to step, mentoring, but the folks who started paying attention was like, hey, Sean, we got this opportunity. Can kids come here? Cool. And I didn't have, like, that's what mattered because these kids get the opportunity. We worry about the wrong shit. Mm-hmm. I don't like, oh, how come I didn't get this or I didn't get that? I'm like, you worried about the wrong shit. Who cares about, respectfully, who cares about getting recognized for what?
Bro,
it's called a spirit of envy, though. That's what it is. Spirit of envy.
Bro, I see it so much with like my football players. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, and it's the parents. Well, I saw this kid got an offer and this kid got an offer. And why didn't my son get this offer? Mm-hmm. Your son got that offer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just because he didn't get this offer doesn't mean that he didn't get an opportunity. That's all it is an opportunity.
I knew it was bad when I coached youth football. I like the baby. It's my favorite. Parent came to me was like, yeah, my kid number 1 6U in the nation.
Said number 1 6th grader?
6U.
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 6 years old.
Going to the league.
6 years old.
Baby grown.
Tommy can't tie his damn shoes, and Tommy can't spell his name.
I said 6U in the nation?
6U in the nation. He was hype. He was geeked. Oh, he go crazy. Yeah, he's 6U. I said he's
spat
6. Huh?
Yeah, spat.
Going crazy. 6U. Visor.
Damn, it's crazy.
6U, bro. When I and then me being in the youth football culture, bro, it's so toxic. It's so ego driven. So when people bring kids to me, they like, oh, I heard your name, I heard you really embrace the kids, and you're not in it for the wins. I said exactly what I mean. I'm in to change life. This without coaching, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I didn't have a dad growing up. My dad passed early, and I leaned on coaching. And when I see these kids light up, if I told a story before, I'll tell it again. I don't think you heard it. Maybe you haven't. Shut the hell up. It's I was coaching like 7, 8 year olds, and I had an Impala Tom. I had an Impala 22 was hype, and they thought I was a drug dealer. They thought I was a pimp. It's like they was like, oh, coach, you sell drugs? You're a P? I'm like, absolutely not. I'm an electrician. And their eyes lit like, oh, can I be that way? I'm like, hell yeah. Why, if I can do it, you can do it. So this me being around kids, that's my passion. I love being around kids. I love being around the boys, or even girls too. Young girls see their fathers are the first man they fall in love with. So every type of man who's the father, it's the type of man they're gonna get when they marry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Victory love me on everything.
Huh?
Victory love me on everything.
Yeah, you're a turd.
A kid asked you if, you a pimp? But I had to sit back and think, yo, my basketball coach was a pimp too.
You see, so I wasn't mad at him. So I made him take a lap. It's like, here, my mic, I'll take hate mad at him because that's what they see. He's from Vegas. You a pimp? Or you do some other shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You feel me? They ain't seeing it. They ain't seeing people like work with their trade. They ain't seeing electricians. They ain't seeing carpenters. They ain't seeing plumbers come to their talk, their jobs talk, but they don't know what that is. You know what I mean? They blew their mind. So that being in that type of space, being where I'm at today, and me being able to talk to these kids can see right through you being fake. They see through all that shit. If you being phony and fake, they ain't rocking with it. You can tell a kid like, he's phony as hell. Or somebody really care about you. They run through a brick wall for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I remember when I started teaching January 5th. The first week, it's a great day. I'm sure it was for the noobs. My students was like, "Yo, bro, you different." They couldn't picture me. They couldn't box me. Yeah. They were just like, "I don't understand. Like, what do you mean you're a doctor? But you from around the way? We hear it, but like we don't." They couldn't connect.
It's so crazy. Like
I was like, bro, this is normal.
Because we look this way, we can't be.
Yeah.
Or we talk this way, we can't be.
But that's the thing. Like they couldn't fathom like how the hell someone like you who's tatted, who's this, locks, how the hell are you a doctor?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, if you go elsewhere, this is normal. Yeah. And this is normal. Going to Atlanta, going to Philly, you know how many black doctors I've met? And I was like, oh, bro, this is standard.
But you know what? I can attest to that, bro. Like I didn't growing up out here. Yeah. We ain't see that. We ain't see that.
And I had to think about it. You're right though. Even now, I think there's only 3 doctors. No, 4 doctors at my high school that I teach.
Y'all didn't see that.
Only 2.
I seen that shit. But
yeah,
y'all didn't see it.
It's only 2. It's only 2 of us who are black males. 2 that are doctors. The other 2 are women.
We don't have any at Centennial.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, and then how many black male teachers you know are not teaching PE?
Oh,
but everywhere else it's normal. So I had to remember like, oh yeah.
But so speaking to your point of like the tattoos and the locks and stuff, I ain't see that in Hope. We didn't see that like that, like growing up out here. When I went to Cal, I was like, wait, what? If anybody knows the Bay Area, like the standard attire for a young black man from the Bay is a black hoodie that's tied all the way up, the beanie, and the long dreads. And everybody think like, oh yeah, he from the bottoms, he from Acorn, he from East Oakland, and he probably is. But then when you see this dude in your class at Berkeley and Stanford and all this stuff, we be like, wait, you graduated with a what GPA? Like, you were still out there on the block, but you got a 3.9. Bro, I'd never seen that before.
Yeah. I seen that at Reno too, because you know everyone from UNR, they from the Bay.
They from the Bay.
Everyone.
Across the way, right?
It's only like 3 hours.
It's only 3 hours away. Sacramento's only
Sacramento
an hour
there.
away. Wow. But everyone from Cali goes to, like, when they want to get away from the Cali schools, they go to UNR.
Yep.
And the professors, they come from Berkeley, they come from Stanford. So yeah, bro, that's how UNR was. You right? Like, you ain't lying.
I don't know.
That wasn't the culture here, though. I don't think, though, because our like tattoos was like getting popular. I feel like
It was definitely forward.
Yeah.
like we was in high school, and you know, like probably sophomore year,
I remember when this fool got his tattoo. I was
started
like,
getting them. You know what I mean?
said what?
So like here, like
Arm out.
we was late here.
And he still had the beads in his hair. Yeah, beads and contacts and the tattoos.
My stage colors,
Like, fucking piece of shit.
We was late here on that shit though. The show was y'all.
But I didn't know. Did you have any questions for me? I know we didn't really know each other like that, but I didn't know if you got.
I'm just listening. I ain't really got no question.
You know?
No, but
Well, yeah, actually, yeah. What I didn't know that spades was derogatory to black people.
Yes.
Yep.
What is it?
Spades was used as almost like the N-word towards black folks.
So they would call us.
I know they
spades?
call spades.
spade, gator bait, golly,
So
like
they
all
were
types.
playing.
But yeah, that's what I thought too. And when they old heads was like, "Hey, you might want to change that," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Didn't know.
Is it because spades is the in the deck of cards is black?
Think so. I think it a huge part was like, "Oh, he a spade." It was used like the downgrade, like that. It was another way of saying the N-word without saying the N-word. Mm-hmm. With the hard ER.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
But Mark, man, I think this was good, man. This was solid. Anybody got any last minute anything tapping in?
I think one thing I didn't get a chance to say was about what my dissertation was about.
Yeah.
I didn't know if y'all wanted to care for that.
Yes.
So what I wanted to do was like, all right, 283 pages. 200. No, it is 5 chapters. 5 chapters. 5 chapters. And the way you had to write it is to really make sure, because it's a lot of research. Plus, it's other folks you research, because you're essentially with a dissertation, you're showing people you did your reading, you know how to research, and then this is what you're adding to it. So the biggest part I was adding to the mentorship piece, right? So Lost Voices, the impact on young black males in a critical mentoring program. So what is critical mentoring? Shout out to Dr. Tory Weston, who's a black queen out of Oakland. She wrote this book called Critical Mentoring. And critical mentoring is bringing critical race theory into the mentoring space. So mentorship was essentially for white kids, right? Wow. And even if you go as far back as Big Brothers Big Sisters, you know the story, you know the history behind Big Brothers Big Sisters? So Big Brothers Big Sisters opened in a great year, but a terrible foundation. 1906 is when Big Brothers Big Sisters was open. Beautiful year. But it was for middle-class white kids. But there's mentorship goes beyond that, right? Mentorship, you talk about Socrates, and it was always somebody older and somebody younger. You learn. It was very one-directional. That's how mentorship and Western ideology started. But for black folks, it's always been natural. We got mentored in the church, in the community, whether it was Black Panther Party, whether it was the original YMCA. Folks don't know YMCA was also created for black kids who were isolated from their families. And that's, if you go to the East Coast, you'll see those big YMCA buildings. When they got kicked out, that's where they went. And also our folks in the LGBTQI plus community, that's where they went. That's where the song YMCA, they can always go to YMCA. That's where that came from. So that's all mentoring, right? But Big Brothers Big Sisters didn't start integrating till the 70s. So black and brown kids couldn't join in, right? That's history going there. But then black folks always were mentoring. Black Panther Party had few mentorship programs for elementary all the way to high school, right? Now, once it started becoming federal, when the civil rights came into enact, what are the programs you hear about? Gear Up, Trio, all these programs, right? They were meant for black folks to finally get their just due so they can go into higher education, all these things, right? But you had to make sure everyone can get it. Everyone had access. And this is essentially a way for folks who are suppressing white supremacy to make sure white folks can take advantage as well. So you can't say, oh, well, black and brown kids can join Gear Up. You have to say, oh, well, low income families. They start using these type of language, right? So the biggest part for me with this dissertation was, how come my homies from The View and all the big homies can read this and understand what this is talking about? My biggest part was I wanted to be somebody who can translate what they saying, because they create new words so that they don't talk about us outwardly, but that's what it is. So that was the biggest thing for me. So when they made dollars into mentorship, they said low income families. So that was our way in, because low income families. But that also meant white folks who were low income could get money too. So that's when I'm starting to read all this, I'm getting pissed, because I'm like, yo, this is insane. Like, where everything that was really we could benefit from, we still can take, we can, but only to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So now critical mentoring is taking critical race theory, looking at mentorship through a critical race theory lens, meaning you're not shy away from talking about racism. You ain't tripping about talking about sexuality. You talk about it all. And critical mentoring, you're putting youth at the center, meaning it's a youth-centered approach where they have a say in their mentorship. Like, so everything you see King and Jules do, why it's always different every year, is because we get kids who are different every year. And because we actually asked them, what do y'all want to do? And some like, oh man, like last year, they were like, oh man, we were gamers. We want to be able to game. Okay, we got HyperX here. We know somebody here. Do you know there's 35 different positions that you could actually get into? And in the tech space, in the gaming space, without just being the consumer. And there's black folks who are high execs doing it at the HyperX. And so these kids were like, yo, all right, Mom, I know what I want to do. Like, giving them an exposure. So it's a part of also them having a voice in how they want to be mentored. That's what critical mentoring is about. So that was the framework we took, plus using restorative justice circle process. So the way we get kids to open up in circles, you have to talk in peace and all that stuff. And it's very rooted in indigenous practices. So the reason why like when I was doing the men's room, it was so natural because black folks are part of the indigenous community too. The originators from restorative justice appropriated this approach from different colonies in Nigeria, Ghana, New Zealand, South America, indigenous communities who've been doing this. When you do circle process, you're literally, you celebrate together, you make decisions in circle process. Yeah, you have a high chief who's a facilitator, but everybody in the community has a voice. Everyone. And this is where you eliminate the hierarchy. And that's the best part of King of Jewels that we figured out was we didn't make you feel like the adultism was in the space. So yeah, we did the games and all this other stuff, activity with the rope people see, but they don't get what we're doing, the psychological behind it. Because when we get kids to do, for example, paper, rock, scissors, and this will come up public, so I don't mind do it. The way we do paper, rock, scissors is different. We'll be like, all right, y'all, everyone, you get one chance to beat your partner, one chance. After you lose, whoever lose, you have to support that person as you try to beat everybody in the room. And then we're like, all right, bet. So they'll lose, be like, oh man, but all right, they hyping them, get the energy going. Now it's two large crowds. And it's like, going for the one sudden death, that one person wins, their crowd is going crazy. And we're like, yeah, that's dope. How'd you feel? Like, man, I lost, but I'm glad. Hey, I lost to the champion though. I lost to the champion though. I'm like, oh, that's nice. So how come y'all don't do that for each other at school then? And they like, oh. It's like, how come y'all don't support each other when someone it took was something simple like that to make the connection of what's happening to them in real life. Because it's like, yo, y'all sitting here like, yo, he's about to go to USC, UCLA. Why ain't you happy for him? And you see how hard he grind or how hard she grind. And even though it's not you, how come we can't cheer for that person? All right, so then what do they tell us about who black, brown folks are? What are these meta narratives that they told you? How many of you fall for that? So then what we learned was, and I specifically talked about young black males for my dissertation. So there's this theory called black racial identity development, which used to be called Nigrescence theory. So rest in peace to William Cross, Dr. William Cross. He developed this theory where talking about there's 5 stages black folks go through when it comes to their identity. Called it the pre-encounter stage, the encounter, the immersion, then the, I'm trying to get to it because I was going to mix my word that I changed to it. Internalization, and then the last one, I call it internalization commitment. There it is. Boom. That's the 5. Pre-encounter, encounter, immersion, internalization commitment. Those are the 5 stages of black racial identity development. So I flipped it and said, all right, the pre-encounter stage is when you're in the cave of illusions, meaning you're someone who's black, who believes in these white ideology systems that makes you feel like, oh, I can take advantage of this too, and it can liberate me, and I can surpass anything, which is a part truth. Of course you can. Get into college universities. I can go my own businesses too. You become that token guy, right? That's the cave of illusion. Then the encounter stage is when you realize the higher you get, yeah, you got here, but don't forget.
Shit, nigga. Yeah.
What Hov say? Still nigga.
What OJ, Jay-Z say? OJ?
I'm OJ. What'd he say? Like, no matter how high, you can get up there, but they feel they can take it away from you too. That's the encounter stage, right? So then that's when I call it the first part is pre-encounter is the cave of illusions, and then the disruption of the worldview of blackness. That's what I call the encounter stage. So now you're about to your perception of what being a great black person is supposed to be in white society. You're debunking it now, because this is what they told you what being black is. This is what white ideology told you what black. It's okay to be black and acceptable. It's okay. You're going to be great entertainer. You're going to be a great football player. But once you start doing the deep dive of what we've added to agriculture, what we added to architect, what we added to science, military, even past the diaspora of the United States, what we've added to the world. That's when you start to immersion, when you start to figure out what is authentically black. That's what I call it. And then you're disrupting all these worldviews. Then you're figuring out what is authentically black. What is that? So then you figure out what that means. You transition to, all right, you know what? The internalization, like, all right, I get what being black means to me. It's not just these narratives that they told me. I can really go far. And then this atonement, mean at one moment, you're committed to doing it for others now too. So those stages is what we help with these young black men do. So that's the ideology we figured out. That's the method to our madness for King and Jules. So when folks just see us doing this and that,
You basically crushed the crab in the barrel. You crushed that. You crushed that whole thing.
Yep.
You crushed it.
That fast as fuck though.
Crushed it.
Okay, brought scissors.
You crushed crab in the barrel. You literally crushed crab in the barrel.
and then there's this other activity we do. It's a rope activity. So what we'll do, how everybody hold it, right? And you can see this all on our Instagram page. We'll have everybody hold it, and then we'll be like, all right, we got one person. This person's gonna walk across this whole rope. We're gonna guide them though, so they don't fall. But the first thing you need to do is say everything negative to them. Well, I don't want to say nothing negative. Oh, that's weird. No, say everything. Say everything negative. That's not crazy disrespectful. Say everything negative to him or her. They're like, you suck. And then you start seeing them like feel terrible. And I'm like, all right. They got through the rope, but it was mad slow. All right, now this time say everything positive. Now at this point, they want to say something positive because they feel bad saying something negative. And they're like, yeah. Now you see this person go hella fast. And it was like, well, in your natural state, y'all always talk shit to each other at school. So why is it hard for me telling you to do it now? What's the difference? Putting it back on them, critically thinking, right? Why do we attach ourselves to these ideologies that was given to you? And then some kids debunk it. They're like, I don't believe what they say, but I see other folks do it, but then there's pressure to like, all right, I don't want to do this. I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't want to be the odd one out. They're afraid to stand out. Why don't you stand out?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Those are what we do with King of Jewels. Like that's those little games. Games is what we figured out how to really debunk all these narratives and all these beliefs that they have to help them truly figure out who they are. So there's a whole method. That's why we did the research. I wanted to be an expert in this, but I wanted to do it so good. Me and Nick was like, because I'm up here telling him, like, boom, boom, read this, read that. We up here doing it because we were like, all right, we're doing the work, but now we need to add the literature to it. And that was the part, like, how can we do both? Because it's interesting because folks don't know what we're doing. We're like, well, we have 3 methods. We have 3 ideologies that we fixed on: critical mentoring, Black racial identity development, self-identity work, cultural identity as well, and critical race theory and restorative justice. So 4, sorry. Those 4 things we use collectively, and that's how we created our own framework.
Damn, bro. So, teaching these kids to not ride the wave, but be original, because you're born original, die copy. Yep. That's basically what you're doing, bro. That's you're storing it. That's phenomenal, bro. I got a question for you. I have a question for you. Would you rather be respected or understood?
Damn.
Well, you answer. Try to elaborate a little bit, if you could.
I say respected.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
say respected. I say respected.
Because me and you said understood.
Yeah, both say understood.
But a part of me, because for years I chased to be understood. For years,
Please elaborate on that.
I
'Cause
used-
I have issues with that.
I try because
understand.
when it came, and I'll say this in the most respectful way. When King of Jewels started popping off, I went to a lot of the OGs you think you would go to. Now there were definitely the weeklies, Tyrone Thompson's, Bombay's, who was like, yeah, we see what you're doing, let's go. But there was also folks like, yeah, they gave you the runaround. They didn't see it. They didn't want to understand what we was doing with King of Jewels. But those 3, and there's others like Monica Ford and a bunch of others, Shondell Newsome, that believed what we were doing, even when we didn't have the steam that we got now, right? Or whatever you want to call it. The people just didn't get it. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what, forget it. We just gonna ride and run with it. Because y'all don't want to do it, forget it. There's certain organizations I'm part of that don't get it. And I'll be like, let's do it. Nah, this, it's too political, it's too this. I'm like, you know what, forget it. All right. I'm tired of convincing you to understand.
Gotcha.
I'm tired of convincing you.
I'm so gonna respect.
So you're going to like, all right, I gave you the shot. You didn't understand it, cool. Now, 7+ years go by.
Oh, I respect that.
This happened, that happened, this happened. Oh, damn, we didn't see the vision. You know, we respect it, son. We didn't see what you was doing. That's why I'd rather be respected. Because all the stuff I wanted to do, I held back for years because I was waiting for permission. I was waiting for people to understand. I was waiting for permission and people to understand what I was trying to do, because what I was trying to do was bigger than me. It was bigger than Nick. It was bigger than what these folks saw. I wanted these kids to see there's more than these damn lights in this city. But you also don't forget that these lights is what makes us us. Because when I go to other cities and when I go to other hoods, I'm like, yo, I'm from the north town of Vegas. And they like, Vegas? Y'all can live out here? You know how much respect that these folks give? They be like, you from Vegas? Oh man, like Vegas is, like people get excited when you say you're from Vegas. I think we're one of the only cities you can say you from and everyone wants to come there. But everyone's like, oh, I want to leave. No, Vegas is one of those cities everyone wants to come to. And once you embrace that and once you understand that, yo, you can say what you want. I've seen other cities. I love what they do. They're older than us, but ain't no place like Vegas.
Nah, I agree. I
None.
love home.
And as much as these people who ain't from Vegas complain about what we don't got, they still here, ain't they? Because there ain't no other place like Vegas.
Factual.
So yeah, that's where I'll say why I want to be respected, because I'd rather be respected, but then even there, I'm not gonna chase your respect either. It's either, there's people who there's folks in my family who thought I was gonna be the troublemaker, and I've done all these things, but that become that, and they still don't respect what I do. That's cool. It's, all right. But I would, if I had to choose between the two, yeah, I'm gonna choose respected, because those same folks who was like, yo, I didn't get it, y'all respect it. I see it now.
Copy that. Copy that.
Respect that, bro. Respect that, man. That's dope. Appreciate that, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, bro.
No, thank
Appreciate
y'all,
you
man.
for coming on, bro.
I felt like I talked a lot.
Nah, that was great.
No, but real shit. The part of the reason why, like you're invited on is because one, like even though like you guys' platform and stuff is out there, like on the social media and stuff, like I still feel like me personally, I feel like you don't get enough recognition for what you do. That's me. So any way that we can shine the light on what you're doing, especially a young black man in the city, and we care about the youth and just being good fathers, husbands, brothers. Like we see somebody that we know, let's highlight that. So yeah, it was a no-brainer. I think like when we even started talking about guests, I know you were the first person I said, and then obviously Deshaun doesn't know you that well, but then they were like, oh yeah.
The slam dunk. It wasn't no.
It was easy. What do you say, David? Crazy work.
Crazy work.
Yeah, it was easy, man. But nah, like seriously, like appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, and this ain't even because we on camera. I'll tell you, I'll text you, I'll call you, be like, hey, bro, I'm proud of you, bro. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. And so, man, keep it up. Anybody got anything for the good of the order?
Man, don't let nobody don't let nobody dim your light, which I know you aren't. You already pretty headstrong. Don't let nobody dim your light, and stay on your path, bro. Keep being original. You know what I mean? Keep being original and keep your originality is what getting these kids to come to you guys. You know what I mean? That's making
too.
Because that's making your guys' platform get so much bigger because they know you're not phony. Yep. Kids, they see phoniness all the time they talk about social media all the time. Look at the likes, the monopoly likes, I call them. Because they do nothing for you, just likes. You know what I mean? It should be anything. But keep being you, man. Keep being original. Keep being the father you need to be for your daughters, man. The husband, to your wife. Keep being the person God made you to be on here, man. Make your blessings, brother, for sure.
Yeah, what you're doing is honorable, bro.
100%.
Mad respect, man.
100%, girl. 100%.
No, thank y'all, man. I will say, I know you guys said that like you'll think get recognized enough. I think to be honest with you, I think we do. Between me and Nick, if anything, I don't think Nick gets recognized enough. My brother Nick Matthews, man. But I think, and Nick knows this, anything I do, I'm looping him somehow. Sometimes he's like, nah, because he likes to stay in his lane, but I'll be like, come on, bro, let's do this. And he's always like, all right, let's do it. I think Nick doesn't get the love he deserves more often, but I also at the same breath think we already do. Because we've been mentoring with King and Jules itself for 10 years. And every year we have a mom or we'll have somebody who's always like, hey, go to Sean, go to Nick, go to Sean, go to Nick. So I think that's all the recognition we need to keep going. Like the fact that people still want what we're producing, that's the recognition I need. We don't need an award to tell us that. But we are grateful when we get one. So the one we got, we're honored, we're thankful, but we ain't searching for it. We ain't tripping if we do or we don't.
That's when it's a genuine thing, for it's a passion. It's God given.
That's it. Because
the awards come.
The awards and all that comes, but I think more importantly, the more we're able to do things for these kids, that's the real recognition. Like when we're able to be like, all right, y'all, we going on a trip here, and you ain't got to pay for nothing. That's next. That's what I get happy about.
You're lighting candles, bro. Making the world a brighter place.
All God, bro.
Amen, bro. Appreciate you.
Nah, but and to our audience, hey, appreciate y'all, man, tuning in. This was definitely a banger. It's definitely a banger. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. With that said, Not Your Average, we out.
Peace.